Hello and welcome to TCN's Cloudcast, where we explore the latest trends and innovations in the contact center industry. Today, we're thrilled to have Emma Reynolds, UK Account Manager and Sales Development Representative at TCN, here to share with us some of TCN's findings in their most recent UK consumer survey. Welcome to Cloudcast, Emma. How are you today?
I'm great. Thank you, Spencer. How are you?
I'm great. It's so good to have you back on the show. And, I had a great time last time we talked, and I know a lot of our listeners found you very informative. So I think this episode is going to be a great follow-up for our previous conversation, which was also about the UK consumer survey that you did the previous year. This year, it seems that you had a large focus on automation versus live agents, as well as the overall efficiency and profitability of contact centers. Could we start off by talking about one of those main topics?
Yes, absolutely.
So the first one, obviously, that I mentioned was automation versus the human touch. And the survey notes a strong preference for a live agent on the phone. About 42% of your respondents said that they prefer talking to a live agent. Also, there's 52% of your respondents that feel more comfortable giving sensitive information to a live person. So, given the industry's strong push towards automation that we've seen in recent years, especially with Gen AI coming out, what is TCN's biggest takeaway for businesses on balancing AI-driven efficiency with evident human preference?
Yeah, so in our survey, we noticed that 25% of respondents immediately tried to speak with a live agent
Hmm.
when encountering self-service options. So there is a very strong preference for human interaction. But as a business, we are trying to increase our efficiency. And unfortunately, humans are not the best at being efficient. But
Right.
this is where AI and automation comes into play to help support contact center agents in their day-to-day tasks.
So, with supporting them in their day-to-day tasks, what does a company need to do in order to support their agents, in your opinion?
I think training is the biggest thing in order to help their agents and support them. It's difficult when call volumes aren't as high because people want to be contacted digitally. So it's important that the training is right. So when those agents do speak to a customer, they're handling it correctly.
Yeah, no, that's great. And, with this need for training and improving our agents in order to satisfy what the customer wants. Do you think that companies are overestimating, their customers' willingness to engage in automation, right? Like we see clearly they want to talk to a human. So are companies pushing too much for automation? What specific steps can contact centers take to make their automation options less frustrating and more acceptable to customers? So that we have, the balance between humans and automation. Sorry, I threw a lot at you there.
No, absolutely. I mean, for example, we like to work with clients to make their setup as customer friendly as possible. We do things like customize IVR options to simplify the process for customers. No one wants to call and listen to 25 options.
Yeah.
There's there's nothing more frustrating. Also increasing digital communication channels can help with the hold times as well, and just improves overall for a client's customer.
Yeah, I really like what you're saying here. I mean, it sounds like you're just adding tools to support agents and customers, right? Like you're not just replacing
Mhm.
people, you're not trying to automate everything. And you're right, I hate sitting through a long list of IVR options where I know which one I want. And sometimes I even remember the number because I've called so many times, right? So I'm just clicking the numbers, I need to go to five and then four. So,
Yeah.
I just hit the buttons and I don't listen to options. It feels like a big waste of time, but I like that you mentioned adding digital channels to help provide more options for customers. And I noticed that in your survey, it does appear that 57% of respondents prefer email when communicating with businesses in the UK and, over calling, over texting. So would you say that this is the main way that TCN helps their clients is by adding these communication channels?
Yeah, there are many things that TCN can help with aside from adding channels, but this is one of the changes that helps many of our clients day to day. It has been a big focus for businesses as of late, and there are many digital options available. For example, TCN provides SMS, web chat, and email. And having multiple options for connecting with customers helps improve the overall experience and ensuring that they find the best option for their personal needs.
That's really awesome. And I know that TCN offers a lot of other solutions aside from digital communication channels. And I know that it's clearly a big focus as more and more digital channels are created. People's preferences are changing. Some like talking with chatbots versus, calling or even social media. Um, I think it is really great that, you're able to add those digital communication channels for consumers as well as, your clients. And with these channels being added, I think that there's a level of efficiency that can also, get added if your agents are properly trained on these communication channels, right? There has to be that training there, otherwise there's no foundation for it. So I think that these channels can really help consumers find a solution a lot quicker and reduce traffic in the long run, which we know is really important to them. So I also wanted to talk about, some of the other characteristics from aside from digital channels that are highly valuable to consumers. Your survey showed that the ability to solve the issue quickly was valued by 58% of your respondents, and the ability to solve the issue in general, right, not just quickly, but just at all, was valued by 56%. Those were the most valued characteristics for call center agents according to the survey. And so, how should companies prioritize hiring and training to meet this efficiency first expectation?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the information found in the survey this year, it's such a great resource to help with the hiring of agents. The figures are there, the statistics are there to show that digital enhancement is definitely growing. And the more your agents know about this and the more that they have information on how to handle said customers' communications will definitely help. It's more in depth into which communication channels are sought after, as well as what the best practice for contacting is.
Yeah, and I know that, last year's survey, it talked about, abandonment rates and positive reviews, negative reviews based on, customer experiences. And this year I saw that there was a 78% of British people that were likely to abandon a brand after just one poor customer experience. So I'm also curious about what have you seen is one of the most common failures in customer service processes that leads to this level of abandonment, immediate abandonment from a brand.
Yeah, I always hear about hold times being a major issue for consumers. I've been there, I think we all have, to be honest.
Right. Yeah.
And where you're sat on hold and you're thinking, I've got things to do. Do I wait? Do I hang up? But on hold causes them to quickly hang up and look for an alternative way to connect or seek help elsewhere. And this is obviously another way in which TCN's omnichannel services becomes a major asset to our clients, helping their clients avoid frustration from long holds. We actually found that about 33% of consumers are only willing to wait on hold for just over 11 minutes.
Oh,
Yeah, that just goes to show how quickly a customer's service needs to be.
yeah. I mean, you answered my next question. I mean, that statistic is crazy. 11 minutes and they're gone. But
Hmm.
my next question was going to be, about technology um, that you recommend to help prevent this abandonment. And it seems that it's fairly consistent theme where contact centers need to provide all the options they can for consumers to contact them, right? All the communication channels, all the omni-channel options and services in order to keep that abandonment rate down. And obviously, there are other things that come into play, but it does seem like that is a common theme throughout this survey and this conversation. So, that's really great to know. And this, like I mentioned, this the second consecutive year for the survey in the UK. What is one of the most significant shifts or changes or trends that you've seen in consumer attitudes over the past year between the two surveys?
So I think most points from the survey show similar trends from last year. We did actually see an increase of about 10% of people preferring email as their main communication, showing again that digital communication channels are still growing.
Yeah.
While email is still on the rise, like last year, human connection is still in high demand, as well as the quick resolution. So these are definitely main focus points for contact centers moving forward.
Yeah, that's awesome. I think it's so interesting, and maybe you and I can have a different conversation later about the comparison between UK and the US, because we see in the UK the rise of email, while in the US email is sort of shifting out, and it's very fascinating to see the different preferences from year to year. So I'm very
Mm.
excited to talk to you next year as well about the upcoming survey and comparing it to this year and last year's, and um, so it's going to be great. But that's so interesting that we see that 10% increase in email and just more digital communication channels. I know that, you know, it's been a big push, but we're a little short on time, so I wanted to thank you for sharing your insights from the survey, and also quickly ask if you have any perspectives that you want to share that you've noticed from working with your clients, meeting with other industry professionals over the last year. Like what trends of technology um, have there been that need to increase, right? What do we need to see more of? What do we need to see less of? Just anything you've noticed over the past year.
I've definitely seen our workforce optimization platform is one of the tools that has definitely been on the rise recently. It's needed in most organizations to help bring contact center agents to the next level and to raise customer service above where it has plateaued in the past. I've also noticed an increased demand for various social media offerings, especially WhatsApp, to again help increase the digital communications pool and bring better customer service.
Nice. That's perfect. Thank you for sharing that. I'm curious to see what new technologies come out and what communication channels get added, what innovations happen. I think some of the
Mhm.
key takeaways that contact centers should really have from our conversation today is, humans are still necessary. We still need call center agents that are able to empathize with customers, that are able to handle complex problems, while also, there's a, a need for high efficiency solutions,
Yeah.
such as omni-channel communication channels and automation, and the adaptability for adding more communication channels like WhatsApp in the future. So if you're looking for contact center software that does it all, that gives your customer what they want, that's what you need. So those are the things that you should be looking for at this time, and look into the future. And I just again wanted to thank you, Emma, for sharing your insights, and
Mhm.
I'm very excited to talk to you again about the future contact centers, and wanted to thank you for joining me today.
You too, Spencer. I appreciate it.
Thank you for tuning in to TCN's Cloudcast. We hope you gain valuable insights and perspectives on the ever-evolving world of contact center software. For more information or to download the results of the survey discussed in this episode, please visit tcn.com or click the link below. Don't forget to subscribe for future episodes as we continue to explore cutting-edge trends and innovations.